Well, today we celebrate the solemnity of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Holy Mother of God. The Church commemorates the woman whose loving and trusting faith in God allowed her to give birth to the Prince of Peace. I don't know about you, but I've often wondered, how did Mary deal with all of this? Think about it. She has this miraculous conception, a perilous birth in a manger, no less, because there was no one who would take them in. Not an ideal situation, even 2,000 years ago. And now, after all of this, she hears from these shepherds that considered lowlifes from the fields, an incredible message that they received from God about her newborn baby. I can only imagine her amazement. What must have been going on in her head? But Mary had such a trusting faith in God that had allowed her not only to say yes to God, but to embrace all the uncertainty and all the amazing things that were unfolding in her life. All of it happening with her having that grace of peace, the shalom of God. How did she find the strength of faith to lovingly and trustingly accept God's actions in her life? I think our gospel gives us an insight, a clue, into how she developed such an incredibly strong faith. The scripture from Luke points out that when the shepherds tell Mary and Joseph what the angel had said to them earlier in the fields, Mary's response was an inner one. The scripture says that Mary kept all these things. Some translations say she treasured them. Or as the scripture scholars point out, the translation from Greek means she conversed, meditated, or pondered them. It is implied that Mary didn't automatically or immediately understand the full meaning of what she had been told, of what was happening. How could she? How could anybody? So she reflected on the meaning of all this incredible message from the angels, as well as her marvel at her son's conception and birth. And she quietly takes it all in to keep and to contemplate or ponder in her heart what it is all about, what God is doing. Today, as you and I celebrate this woman, the Mother of God, Mary is shown to us as the one who began her unique role in all of human history, prayerfully reflecting on what has just happened, contemplating the meaning not only of this infant's life in her arms, but also of her own life. And it led her to continue to lovingly choose that most holy yes. Indeed, I think our scripture gives you and me a good indication, a blueprint of how Mary, this simple, young, and loving mother, continually develops and grows her strong faith and trust in God. She prayerfully reflects upon and ponders what she is experiencing in her life and all around her. It is her prayerful contemplation that deepens her relationship and love of God. And it gives her the trust, faith, and yes, courage to lovingly live her life in a sacred and holy way as she raises her son, Jesus. Now, by tradition, you and I know that New Year's Day is a day to reflect as well as to ponder. It is a day when many of us reminisce about the year that has passed And once again, make New Year's resolutions to change, to grow, and to be better. As you and I enter this new year of 2023, our beloved Mary, Mother of God, is once again placed today before you and me, as she prayerfully reflects and contemplates the meaning of her child, Jesus. Like the Virgin Mary, you and I, if we want to grow deeper in our relationship with our loving God, then you and I need to make it a daily habit of our hearts to prayerfully reflect upon and ponder what we experience in our lives each and every day. How is God active in our lives? Where do you and I see God in our experiences? What does Jesus Christ mean in our lives? Now, if you struggle with this, trying to identify God's love in your life that comes true in this child, Jesus, then the words of the blessing that we heard in the first reading from Numbers might offer us some help. For as one commentator points out, these words of blessing can help you and me in our contemplation, our reflection, our pondering about God. For the Lord our God does keep and bless you and me in and through his Son Jesus. For the Lord our God does let his face shine upon you and me, and is gracious to you and me in and through his Son Jesus. For the Lord our God does look on you and me kindly, and gives you and me peace in and through his Son Jesus. These are the gifts of this holy child, Jesus the Christ, brings to you and me as we begin this new year. Blessing, light, kindness, and peace. You and I just need to take the time like Mary did to prayerfully reflect and contemplate Christ in our lives. My sisters and brothers, may you and I resolve this new year to let Jesus Christ's gifts to us govern how we treat one another, as well as our world, every day. And as we contemplate and ponder this new year, may the gift of Jesus Christ that we share in this word, at this table, and in each other, help you and me to be more like our Mother Mary. And let our faith-filled, trusting relationship in our merciful and loving God become the foundation of all of our decisions, all our relationships, and all our actions in this new, blessed year. Happy New Year, and may the Lord bless you with peace and all good.